having these lessons, and we've talked about some pretty intense stuff, and maybe some of you in here have, when we're in here, have made decisions. You're like, you know what, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this. And on Sunday, you're so excited. You make decisions and you're very excited. Sunday night comes around, the day Sunday ends, and you're pumped, and you're excited and ready to live out this decision you made. But then Monday comes around, and you go to the same school. Of course, you have to hang around with your same friends. You listen to your same music. You do all the same stuff. And by the time Wednesday rolls around, your enthusiasm from a 9 goes all the way down to a 3. And you don't even, you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go to church on Wednesday. Like, it just totally drops. And maybe in your head you're thinking, why in the world does this always happen to me? Why can't I keep my decisions, the good decisions that I make? Why? I want to do good things for God, but I can't. It's like I'm strangled constantly and cannot keep it for the life of me. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to protect your decision. How to protect the good decisions for God that you are making. Okay, I like to use this illustration. Let's say me. Okay, any of us. We decide, you know how it is one day when you eat so much, and then by the end of the day you're so full and stuffed and you're laying in your bed and you're thinking, what in the world did I just do all day? You know, you feel like you're all the way out here and you're so full. And you tell yourself, you know, tomorrow I'm going to eat right. I'm going to eat right. I'm not going to eat any snacks. I'm not going to eat a taco, you know, and you're just telling yourself all this. You're like, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Well, then the next day you get up and you go to the fridge. You go to the kitchen and you see the donuts you bought yesterday and you're like, You see the tacos your mom made and you're like, oh no, I don't want to. You know, and you're just seeing all these so good things. So before you know it, you're like, okay, so then no, I'll be okay. You go to school. Your friend has all these snacks over here. Your other friend has a hamburger and all this stuff. Before you know, you're like, I'll be right back. And you go get a hamburger yourself. You come back and eat it. You know, I mean, you just want it because it's right in front of you. The smart thing for me to be, you know, I want to eat right, so let me go to HEB and let me buy all the right stuff. Let me go buy my bananas and my fruits and whatever, my salads. Anything else that's going to be good, let me go out and buy it. That would be the smart thing because I would have replaced the bad with the good. Well, that's kind of how it is in our Christian lives. We make decisions for God, but we don't set up the groundwork for it. We just make it and expect it to just happen. But it takes work on our part. We have to work and not go and I can't be on my diet and go and be around all this food and not have any right food and expect to eat right. You can't make a decision that's right and go back into the exact same things that you're doing and expect to continue doing right. So first let's see, what kind of ground does the seed fall on? Let's look at Mark chapter 4. We're talking about protecting our decisions for the good. Mark chapter 4, verse 14. It says, the sower soweth the word. And these are they by the wayside. Mark chapter 4, verse 14. Did I say chapter 4?
Yes, you did.
Okay, verse 15. And these are they by the wayside where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. This is the first kind of sower. Maybe some of you in here. I tell you these things, and you're like, huh. And then like that, while we're sitting here like that, Satan comes in, and it says, he taketh away the word that was sown in your heart. He takes it away, just like that. You don't even make a decision, because you're not even letting yourself. You're allowing Satan to come in and just, not even allow you to make any decision for God. Then the next one, this is the next kind of sower. And these are they likewise, which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness. So you're in here, and you receive it. You're like, oh, yes, Christina, that's so good. And you're nodding at me because you agree. But then look at the next part. And have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So you come in, you receive it, you're like, oh, that's so good. You go out to your Monday, and then all of a sudden stuff starts happening. Stuff comes in, and immediately, it says right here, when affliction affliction or persecution rises for the word's sake, immediately you are offended. Maybe you're doing something. Somebody confronts you. You get offended. Yeah. You know what? Forget it. The decision you made just goes, because it's not rooted. It says right here, it has no root in themselves. It's very, think of a flower that has no root. It just withers away. It doesn't get anywhere. The next one. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word. And the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. This is exactly when I read this, I think of when I say, you go to your same friends, you go to your same, maybe you have root. You have root in your decision you make, and you truly want to keep it. But you go and you go to the cares of this world. You go to the deceitfulness of riches, the lust of other things, all these other things, all these other friends, all this other music, all this other clothing, anything. It comes in and it chokes the word. Your root is in there. You come in and you make the good decision, and all those other, Monday comes around and just wraps around your root, wraps, and takes it down. You know? And then there's the next one, the good one. And these are they which are sown on good ground, such as hear the word and receive it, and bring forth fruit. Some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100. This is the kind of ground that God wants your fruit to fall on. And it's good ground. It's good ground that receives the word. And when you receive it, you apply it. And when you apply it, you live it out. You change your circumstances to apply to your. Do you all understand? So let's name one kind of ground it falls on. What's one ground? Rocky. Who said that? You? Good. The rocky ground, which one was that? When they hear the word, they receive it with gladness, but they have no root. What's another ground it falls on?
Thorny.
There we go. Another one?
Grassy.
Which one?
Stony ground.
And where's the good one? It's a good ground, right? One that has root, one that's accepting it and applying it. Okay? So I want you to think in yourselves, which one of these am I? You don't have to tell me. Just you in your heart, be honest with yourself that which ground is this seed that's being said to you fall on. Okay. So maybe some of you tell me, Miss Christina, you know what? I fall into every single category except for the good one. How in the world do I keep this from happening? What in the world do I do to make decisions and keep them and do good for God? Please tell me I want to do it. And I hope and pray that that's your heart's cry. Well, let me help you with this. One thing is your priorities. You see, before we did that priority thing, and y'all listed on the right side what your priorities are, and on the left side you did what they should be. Well, I don't know what you put, and you don't have to tell me, but how your priorities are numbered on there is important, because it shows what things in your life have priority over the things that are right. Maybe some of you have other stuff above your relationship with God. Maybe some of you have other stuff above your prayer or above your church. Maybe there are things above that. Well, those are things that are sure things to kill, sure things to wrap around. Let's talk more about it. Maybe some of you put your relationship with Christ ahead in every single thing you do. And if you do that, I'm proud of you. If some of you fall on the good ground, I'm so proud of you, and I admire you for being that kind of person, because that's super important. But maybe some of you on here do the other things. Maybe you put other things above your relationship with Christ. I would feel safe to say that for those of you who say, you know what, Miss Christina, I do fall in all those bad verses and all the bad grounds, I think I would feel safe to say that it's those of you and me who allow the word to fall on that. We're the ones who are struggling keeping our decisions. We're the ones who are having trouble doing right and living for God. But the ones who are falling on good ground, they're the ones who are more susceptible to keep them and to be constant in the good decisions that they make. So let's talk about this specific category for a moment, because I feel like some of you in here can do amazing things for God. You have so much potential, and you're amazing in and of yourself, the way God made you. So imagine once you're saved and give your life to Him. Sometimes you look at people and you can see that. You can see what God can do with their life. But you see also that they're still caught up in things. You're like, oh, if you would only let go, you would see what God can do. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty in your decisions, and we're going to see where you fall short and how you can get them better. And I want to offer you help, because I believe with all my heart that once you learn to protect your decisions, then God can work in and through you. So the first thing